shift into it. And so when I left my job in October last year, it was now driven to do this full time. And around January is when now we started setting up the business. And then Feb now you find our social media began, doing events slowly, and then now it's been 9 months since.
So wait, do you tweak the chocolate before it gets to me as the consumer?
Yeah.
Do you import it when it's already made, then you distribute it? Do you have a factory? What do you do? What is different from other chocolates?
Other chocolates is I don't import it ready-made. No, I make it fresh right here. So the quality of my product is because you get it fresh. You order now, you can get it today, after 3 hours, or tomorrow, depending on how complex it is. Why it's chocolate again is I want to create for you that chocolate experience you're looking for. So I make for you fresh cocoa, fresh chocolate for your best enjoyment.
Nice.
Yes.
Good stuff.
Yes.
Bancy, getting to you. You, being an interior designer, you've told me that you've been in this space for at least, what, 10 years?
Yes.
How has it been?
Challenging, interesting. Yeah, and I've been growing day by day.
Okay.
Yes.
When you say growing, because I mean, 10 years, by now you should have grown, you know, being a big girl and all. A business that has been in existence for 10 years, I would think right now you're more or less expert level.
Yes, I am. Yeah, with functions defined, with a team, yeah, and delivering projects.
Right. Because you said half of that time, which is now 10 years, half of that time you are solo, then the other half you called it incorporated.
Right.
What does that even mean?
Sole proprietorship is where you start a business. You're the owner. You control. You're banking as yourself, and you're running the business as yourself. When you come to incorporated, is where you've registered the business. You have your PIN number. You have tax compliance. You're doing your returns as a limited company. Yes.
Does that mean that you have partners, or this is just still you going solo, but now with all these added features?
Yes, I have a partner with the added features. Yes.
Okay, so but how was it starting out? Was it difficult? Because I believe we don't have very many interior designers. To be honest, I don't know. Maybe you'd be in a better position to tell us because you're in the industry.
Yes, there are quite a number. Starting up is not easy like anything else. But it's quite a lot of work. There's no substitute for hard work. Putting in a lot of consistency and staying in the market, looking at what is new and delivering what is new to your clients. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. Now, I want us to get into the fact that, like, for example, you've been there for 9 months, and half of that, actually not even half, I think the entire time. Things have really been thick because March to Lingia into the deep end of COVID-19. How has that been?
Tough.
Was it, first of all, was it easy just before Corona? Because I think for us, tulianza tu kusikia Corona in the news. It was in Wuhan, China. You're like, hey, Wuhan, uko ni mbali, watu wanakufa huko, ni noma. But job yako inaendelea.
Ikaendelea poa sana. So Feb, definitely Valentine's was a thing. But you see, still I wasn't known by people as a brand that I can provide chocolates for you. So it became, you start slowly, but things peaked towards the end of Feb, and in March a bit of events, and then now the lockdown came. My original mistake was to assume that chocolates is a self-selling product, that if I place chocolate here, people will come and buy. But you find that is not the case, because the reason I make chocolates is not the reason that you'll come and buy chocolates. So I had now to start looking at how can I market my product for every client. So it's a one client, one message, one action. And the action is for you to buy. So from March, I started looking at how can I do that then. So who are these people I'm targeting? If I'm targeting people who bake, I do things for you. So this is what I'm asking for you. So I found from March, there's a deep dive into different marketing strategies. You find the people who buy from logic and others who buy from emotion. So learning to understand my market. Can I sell to them with emotion? If you buy this, the person you're gifting will feel love, If you're using logic, then my chocolate chips do not melt. This is the quality you come to. So since March and now, for me, it's been more of learning because I find myself not active on social media, but it made my character now grow. So my comfort has been challenged. And as a business, I would say I've grown more on social media, Instagram specifically. So I find that also mastering one social media allows me to understand that segment more. The more I tried to do so many things, I was like, no, conversion is coming. So I did one platform, understanding the clientele there. How can I reach more people? And I would say, for me, being consistent and being very clear with what I'm offering has allowed us to grow that well.
So are you a retail, business person, or are you, what are they called, wholesale?
I do both. I manufacture, so I have the option of selling in wholesale, and also have the retail aspect.
Do you have a factory, Ama? This happens in your kitchen?
No, there's a factory now. I'm actually KEBS approved.
Okay.
So I have a very nice workshop, Pale Parklands. Yes.
Yeah, I need to visit that. Umetuleta chocolate by any chance, by the Jeff anangoja chocolate. Okay, we'll get to that in a short while. For you, you've been there before pandemics.
Yes.
How was business? Was it good for the last? Because I'm sure you have a story to tell us for COVID, but before COVID-19, was business good?
Yes, it was good, and it was moving properly until the pandemic, and there was a shift and a real change, which hit us unprepared. We didn't know where to start. There was a lot of uncertainty. Then lockdown came. People cannot travel. Those projects which are outside Nairobi,
yes.
And it's,
How did you maneuver that? Because that must have been a very big challenge. If you look at the fact that you need, first of all, to maybe transport things from one county to another.
Yes.
People who are going to do the work, unless you're the one who does it yourself. When wale madem unavanga goggles na unafunga belt hapa hivi, unava tracksuit unapanda kwa buildings unagongelea vitu.
Not really.
How do you get even people rather to move from one end of the country to the other?
That was quite a challenge for us because, for example, when the lockdown was imposed, I had a project in Machakos County, and there was a lockdown. And the contract had already been signed, and the client, wanted the project delivered.
Yes.
And lockdown comes, and we cannot travel. But with time, people kept on, accepting the change and all that. So with the client, they were able to wait, and then after it was lifted, then quickly we were able to sort out our projects. And then there was the acceptance of, doing things online, the invoicing and all that. People were able to accept, soft copies of documents without, physically delivering them. Yes.
Yeah. Wow. And okay, during the lockdown, it is safe to say that losses were made.
Losses, yes, in terms of speed of delivery, and the projects are taking longer than normal period, but fortunately, and many projects that I signed just before the COVID. So how I got affected is the timelines for delivery, and as we talk, I've tried to clear most of the projects.
Because for a company that has been in existence for 10 years, that means obviously you have a large base of, what are they called, employees. I don't know, were they affected in any way in terms of maybe having to lay some of them off, maybe some salary cuts here and there? Because majority of the businesses, I mean, even if you look across the road, Norfolk had to shut down because of COVID-19, Intercon going through a similar situation. Did your business go through something similar?
Yes, of course. We had to let some people go and let others stay under different terms and conditions. Yes, but we had those sittings with employees and quite understanding, and we hope to bring them back.
Okay,
yes.
Nice. One last one in regards to still COVID-19, because collaborations in such times such as this ones are very important. So did you, for example, if you can't get to Kakamega because you won't have enough time to get there, sleep and or other work and then come back because of maybe the curfew and then restrictions in travel, did you have collabos with maybe similar companies that could be in Kakamega or Kisumu or Nairobi, Mombasa, nini, uambie, kuna hii project iko hapo hivyo Mtwapa, na since siwezi kuja, you know, enda uchapewa kazi, then we can split the profits.
Yeah, there are those ones which you can do like that, and there are those ones which you can't. So there were some that we could work like that, and you know, there are some other contracts that basically do not allow subcontracting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
But for others, that works pretty well. Yes. If
we look at your business, Derek, do you have, are you a one-man show in that factory? Kama sasa hivi ni uko hapo umefunga factory. Ama you have guys helping you out in the biashara?
For now, because of now how COVID went, I had to get a bit of assistance from my mentor. So for now, we are working in a form of partnership. So I find that I really wanted to set up my own space towards March. Then how COVID came. So now I'm working on a partnership. So I get some free space from there. So for now, I think that partnership has allowed us to do most. But for marketing, I'm still one-man show. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So when COVID started, because it's for you, it started literally immediately. When you started your biashara. Marketing, I don't think ulikuwa umefanya as much.
No.
So did that like set you back? Did you ask yourself, what have I done? All this money I have poured in here, buying equipment maybe, you know?
Yes, there was definitely that. Because you see, the year started well. Goals, you know, you're doing well, you're feeling good about yourself, and then this unplanned thing comes, and you find that business is being affected. But how you want things to go and how things are in reality aren't matching. So you find there's that conflict that comes, and you need to take time and think about it. So during that time of thinking about it is when I was like, okay, no one has post-COVID experience, then it means this time for me can be, how can I grow my quality? Because the version of the bars I had that time, what can people say about them? How is the outlook? So for me, I would say a lot of what helped me was rethinking. How can I come out as a good chocolatier in Kenya?
Yeah.
So focusing on quality has been my main concern this year. And that period, I began with 4 flavors. Now I have at least 36 flavors.
30 what now?
36, because it's...
What are you putting in these flavors? Is there like a soil flavor?
No, but there's an earthy taste in them.
What do you mean 36 flavors of chocolate? I mean, chocolate is just
It is.
chocolate.
It is just chocolate. But you see, when you're creating and people know that you make them, people will come with a request like, do you have an almonds in milk? And I'm like, wait, I've never done that. Let me try. How does it come out? You find that people who will be like, can you put sweet dried tomatoes in the chocolate? I'm like, yes, we can do that for you. And you find it's...
Sweet dried tomatoes?
Yes.
I would expect maybe tomatoes to be a bit salty.
Exactly. You see, now for the people's palates, they're very wide.
Yes.
And people who want honey in their chocolate, it's a bit sweet, so you find a balance. How can I make a chocolate that is appealing to people? So I think for me, creating has been my biggest portion of work this time.
Right.
Which is exciting, because I think people have seen my quality is good. And then now the more quality is tested and approved, I think the brand is growing naturally. What I'm now trying to work on is how does it look? If you see a chocolate from myself, will you know that is actually its chocolate? So that's what I'm hoping to do in the next coming year.
Let me just, because you've brought up this whole flavor story.
Yes.
Imenifanya naweza kufikiria wildly, which is the wildest flavor you have. And as you think about that, let's take a call. We have Albanas. Albanas, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Mbuvi.
I'm very fine, sir. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you too.
What is your question or comment?
Okay, swali yangu ni, okay, like we know that startups kwanza zinakuanga very hard.
Yes.
In terms of, in terms of capital and maybe manpower. Like unapata, okay, unaweza pata mtu ako na pesa lakini sasa ajui ataanzaje like in terms of recruit watu like HR.
Yes.
Like wanaweza tupeleka through your process ndo maybe watu wenye wako na idea na wako na pesa lakini hawajui vile wataanza ndo maybe wafaidike.
So that is definitely part of our discussion. Thank you, Abanas. Keep watching. Okay, that one is coming to you in a short while, yeah?
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you. Think about your flavors, craziest flavors, and can I suggest some? Sawa. Abanas has asked a very important question there in regards to starting up the business 10 years ago. I'm sure it must have been slightly easier, I don't know, maybe you can correct me if I'm wrong, to start such a business as yours because maybe you were less in your space. But, you know, tell me, how was it? Where did you get the funding from? Did you do mchango? Did you get a bank loan, sacco loan? Did you steal the money? Uliangukia tender?
Sure. Starting up. Starting up is never easy, nor is it, you know, impossible. Number one, it's going to be a risk-taking event. So you're going to take a risk because that money you're holding, you can do something else with it. But you take risk and you say, no, I'm going to start this business. The other thing is you must believe in yourself. Before somebody else believes in you, you have to believe in yourself, and you have to know what you want to do. Whatever you want to start, you must understand it quite well. Take time, do your research, do know what you want to sell, who are the people you want to focus, and where exactly do you want to start the business. Then now from there, the issue of the money comes in.
Yes.
Then what I tell many people is start small. Start small so that the risk you're taking, you know, does not bring you. Yeah, it's minimized.
Okay.
So you start small and you model your product with time. Then you look at it, how it's doing, and you grow it with, you know, with time. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And still on Abanas's question in regards to the way you even when you say you're starting small, you know, there are some businesses you really can't say you're starting small.
Yes.
Yours is, I'm looking at it as construction and interior manenos.
Yes.
You need equipment, obviously, you know, tools, and you need people.
Yeah.
For your biashara as Free Drop specifically, did you start with a small number of staff members? Did you like pull your friends? You know, you tell Derek, Derek, you're free on Saturdays. Kindly give me your time as my friend. Mbuvi, you're free on Sundays. Where to Wenangi Kanisa? You know, on Sundays, can you give me an hour or two of your time so we can do this? Or did you go and professionally got people who can actually do the job?
I started with one employee and myself, a small space, I think by 2 by 2.
Just like this cascade?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, like this. And small capital. I talked to the listening bank, Equity Bank. They gave me small amount of money, quite small. But then I was able to, you know, to demonstrate that I can do it.
Yes.
So, you know, the other thing that people need to do is do proper bookkeeping, you know, do it rightly, do your record sales every day, and separate your money from the business money. Okay. So that at the end of the month, or at the end of the day, you know, like how much money did I make, and how much did I spend here, and you're able to, you know, to draw a right demarcation. Okay. Because when the financial institutions come, like 1 month, 2 months later, they need to see what have you been doing. Is it something sustainable? Is it something that is going to stand? Do you really know what you're doing? Yes, because they want to look at, are you able, you know, to make a business stand? Okay. Yes.
Let's answer Banas as well. In your regard, did you get money from a bank loan? Did you changa the money from your family and friends? Had you saved the money? Yeah. Where did you get your cash from?
That's a good question. I had some savings, and I shared my idea with my parents, and they were excited that it's something that looked viable. So they helped me with the initial capital that I needed.
Okay. Wait, who?
My parents.
Your parents, okay.
Yes, my parents. They were very supportive in the beginning and through the period.
Right.
And like she's saying, if you start small, you're able to see how you're building, you measure, and then you learn. So that's...
So ulianza na sufuria moja, jug, a lot of motivational speakers will always tell you, start small, just start anywhere. As long as you start, have a sufuria and that kijiko, koroga chocolate. You know what, let's take a short break, guys. When we come back, we'll get deeper and deeper into the conversation because I want this one to relate with you. You out there asking, I have 1,000 bob, what can I do with that money? Or I have this business idea, where can I get the money so I can, you know, start my biashara? And of course, don't forget, we are going to be checking out your interaction via our WhatsApp messages. Don't go too far, we'll be right back.